so now we also have playoff games going down this weekend, unofficial playoff games with the Rangers and Mariners. Schedule makers nailed this. Kratz, 7 games between those two still to go. So good. Astros lead by a half a game. Jays are up on that wild card spot by a half a game. They lost to Cole and Jake Bauers and the Yankees last night. So I'll go over the rest of the sketch. Houston has 3 against the Royals, although they didn't look good against the Royals last week. And then 3 at Seattle and 3 at Arizona to finish their season. The Jays, as we mentioned just before, have 6 more against the Rays and 3 against the Yankees, who I don't think you're getting sweeps out of the Yankees right now, even though their offense isn't great. Yesterday they handled them, so that could be a 2 out of 3 situation for Toronto. Seattle's got those 6 against the Rangers and then 3 against the Astros. That's tough. And then Texas has 6 against, or 7 make it against the Mariners. And I think I said 7 for Seattle against the Rangers, 3 against the Astros. And for Texas, same thing, flip it, but they also have 3 against the Angels. When you add all of that up, how is this playing out? I'll go to our resident Aristotle, Lorenzo Kane, first to call the American League playoff race. So we know who wins the East. We know who wins the Central. According to you, the Rays. So you'll have to flip it and give the Orioles that wild card spot. But I'm looking for the winner of the American League West and then the other 2 wild card spots besides the Rays and the Orioles. Go.
Oh, besides the Rays, so I think I'm also going with the Astros.
To win the division?
Yes, to win the division.
Okay, so now we're looking on the screen right now at the AL wild card. So who do you have out of Seattle, Texas, and Toronto?
Seattle, Texas, Toronto. Oh, man. And I'll go with Texas to get the wild card spot, because I'm a big fan. I'm pulling for Chris Young. I played with him, and also Dayton Moore. I'm pulling for those guys, so Texas to sneak in the playoffs.
AJ, you saw a lot of Texas. Are they going to get in?
I because of LoCain is going to be so wrong on all this, it's going to be amazing. So when he's all wrong, I expect him to give us a speech about how wrong he was. But the thing is, they play 7 games against each other, right? Who are you taking right now with no Scherzer, of all these not full strength? Are you taking Kirby, Castillo, Gilbert, Wu, Miller?
Oof.
Or are you taking Dunning, Evaldi, beat-up, Heaney, Martin Perez, Montgomery? I just think that it's such a hill to climb. I think Toronto gets in, and I think Seattle gets in. And if we would have said this 2 months ago, Texas wasn't getting in the postseason, so we're crazy. I just think they miss because their starting pitching is so banged up.
It's music to my ears, Kratz. AJ just loves the Mariners and their starting pitching. It's almost as if he's been watching and listening to FT since March?
It only took 154 games for him to finally. And you guys haven't been living together. Had you guys been living together like you were earlier in the season, he would have kicked the Mariners to the curb. I'm going to kick out a team that you guys haven't said yet. I don't know that Toronto does it. I don't know that Gausman can handle Berrios. They can handle what the rest of their schedule looks like. The Rays, their hope will be that the Orioles win the next 6 games in a row and the Rays don't have a chance the last 3. That could be Toronto's hope. But with Vladdy not starting, I don't know what's going on with his knee or whatever that was. I have Toronto on the outside looking in. I also don't know the tiebreaker with Toronto and the Rangers, but I agree with AJ that the Rangers are going to be the not the odd man out. I have them as a 3rd wild card. So I think the Mariners take the division. I want the Mariners badly to take the division because if they do, as soon as they win it, I'm going to BetMGM, taking my plus money, and I'm getting plus money on Mariners and plus money on the Brewers, and I'm going to cash that in.
Oh, to meet up in the World Series?
Yes.
Those 2?
Yes.
I like it.
Wow.
Mariners, Brewers?
Just because of their pitching staff. You know how.
Sorry.
The Mariners.
Oh, gosh.
The Mariners bullpen is so unbelievable. Now, it doesn't matter that I just finished reading an article about them, how they picked all these dudes off the heap and they just keep throwing them out there and they just keep they're doing so well, and they're all so rested. It's unbelievable. And what the Brewers are doing, I love it for the plus money. Yeah, I can go out and try to make like $6 or $7 and bet on the Dodgers and the Braves and your Orioles teams. I'm looking for that big plus money. I love it, and I can't wait for this weekend of baseball.
In some scenarios, I would go, oh, MLB hates that matchup for the World Series based on the markets. But actually, those two markets for a World Series, though, no? You're still a no, AJ?
Dude,
Brewers fans haven't seen a World Series in a minute.
Who do I work for?
You're such a corporate man. Stop with the corporate.
Listen, there's not one team in the AL. Now listen, this has not been told to me, but I hear enough things. There's really not one team in the AL where they're like, oh, I mean, Baltimore is kind of the one that they're like, okay, Baltimore East Coast, but Houston's been played out kind of right there because they're there every year. Seattle doesn't have a huge fan base. The Rangers, the Cowboys are good, so the Rangers are kind of Okay, the Twins are the Twins. I mean, listen, Minnesota's a great baseball town, a great city, but they don't draw TV audiences. You go in the National League, you got Atlanta, you got LA. I mean, Milwaukee's the kind of the one on the outside for me. I mean, if Atlanta or LA or Philly, listen, that's jackpot for the National League. But the American League, there's not. Listen, if it's a Tampa Bay, Milwaukee series, and if there's going to be some bad numbers coming out.
So what? I'm here for the plus money. Thank you, BetMGM. Thank you. And I know LoCain. I'll get to see LoCain if the Brewers make it to the World Series. LoCain
there.
Oh, there he's stretching his arm already, trying to throw it out that first, second, third, and eighth pitch. All of them, LoCain.